Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here. Today's video is not directly related to what you see on the screen. It's tangentially related though, and it's a video I've been meaning to make for a little bit of time now. And the main topic for the day is the importance of maintaining accurate price history and pricing information for past sales. And I think some of our main businesses in the industry, some of the main players in the hobby are really not doing as much as they could be. I think they could do better quite easily, and I believe we deserve better. Anyways, let's get into the recent topic that I'm sure everyone's already heard about, but I'll quickly just go over Logan Paul's purchase of the PSA 10 Pikachu Illustrator and mention why and how it's related to my topic of price transparency when it comes from the major businesses in the industry. So anyways, for those not informed, quick overview of what happened. Logan bought a PSA 10 Pikachu Illustrator, $5.275 million, and it was like a partial trade. So if you read through the whole article, $4 million cash and $1.275 million in value was attributed to the PSA 9 Illustrator that he traded towards it. If you want to pause and read any of the intricacies of it, but I think you've probably already watched a video or read Instagram posts out there about it. And here, I mean, I have no issues with Logan's transaction. Some people love him, some people hate him. It is what it is. He bought the card. He owns it now. But where I took issue with this article, and Rattle also recently did a video where he mentioned this, but at the bottom, the most expensive Pokemon trading card sold at auction was also a Pikachu Illustrator card. It was a PSA grade 7 card that fetched a value of $900,000 at an auction run by Goldin on February 23rd, 2022. So that's where the issue comes in, and I'll get into that, why that is exactly. So there was a thread on E4 that had a link to the specific auction. It was just a little thing where people were trying to guess the end price. If you try to follow that link now, there's nothing to be found. Curious. So we'll continue on. If you scroll back on Goldin's Instagram, the record post is still there. Some people asking, there's info out there that it might not have been paid. There's info out there that it might have been $720,000 and not $900,000. Shout out to Pokemafa on Instagram. I have his post screenshotted here. So back when the link was active, back when you could still see it, he clicked into the link and he took some screenshots. For some curious reason, the $900,000 Illustrator that Goldin was referencing was showing us $720,000 with buyer's premium. And you can see here, if you can see that, there was a bid history, and then the final bid that shows as the winning one was $600,000 plus the 20% buyer's premium, bringing us to $720,000. So there's all this information out there that it was $900,000. That information carried all the way to the Guinness World Records post. But this shows $720,000. And then if you try to search it today, as I make this video, I'm making this video on April 5th. You'll be seeing it on the 6th. You can't find reference to it anywhere. And yeah, so having seen Pokemafa's post on Instagram, I went and I messaged them. There's word out there it may not have been paid for, and it was being offered to losing bidders. No response. There was a few other people asking, no response. And then PSA card referenced that sale multiple times. Naturally, it was a PSA encased Illustrator, PSA 7. They're referencing it. People are saying it wasn't paid for. People are asking if it was paid for. No response from PSA. We'll get into that one in a minute. But let me return back to the browser here. So yeah, for some reason it's deleted from their website, yet it exists here on their Instagram. We really don't know whether it was paid or not. All these articles are out there. If you search it on the internet, funny, I mentioned Rattler earlier. Hypebeast.com is one of them. Just an interesting website to be pumping a sale price that we aren't 100% sure if it was paid or not. So I guess my question to Goldin, if someone from there ever were to watch this, why was it deleted? Why for some short period of time did it mention 720,000? Were losing bidders actually being reached out to? Was the item actually paid for 900,000, 720,000, or any number? We really are kind of left hanging on that. And the other thing I wanted to get to, so Goldin was the first one, but in recent times, there was also another record-breaking sale that was publicized fairly heavily, not nearly as heavily, $24,600 compared to $900,000. You can imagine why. But PWCC, there was a consignor who sent the full 12 card set of the Illusions Zorua and Zoroark cards, and 3 of the highest selling ones were posted on their Instagram, record-breaking sales. Naturally, they want to show off the big sales. No harm in that, assuming that they're actual legitimate sales. So anyways, here's their post. This is the Ichiban copy in particular. The prior two, as we'll see, were actually paid, but as we'll see in a image here, someone was questioning them. Hey, these the prices seem really high. The prices caught a lot of people off guard. So they're not in the archive. Are they paid? PWCC confirmed when questioned. All record sales are confirmed prior to us sharing them. It can typically take a week before the sales are recorded in the sales history tool. So it's expected that these sales are not yet showing in the sales history tool. So not only did they post it saying it was a record-breaking sale, when asked directly, they replied and said, yes, we confirmed them all before we post them. So they doubled down on the fact that that Ichiban copy was sold and paid for. Now here's Pokemon Pacific on Instagram. He made a story, and then you can actually see in the next slide, he commented on the original post. He basically said 10 of the 12 Zoroark design cards were not paid for. The only 2 that were paid for were the 2 prior ones on the previous slides here. But yeah, so you can see here, I screenshotted this when his post was 1 day old on their original post. This post may need to be updated. The Ichiban copy was not paid for, unfortunately. And you can see that I replied again saying, hey, do you care to revisit and revise this? It's troubling that you would firmly state that the sales are vetted before confirmation. And then the consignor, the owner of the item, states that it wasn't paid. I actually went on to also DM them. You can see here a little bit of, I've messaged them before and they've actually been very responsive. Shout out to PWCC, whoever runs their Instagram, very responsive with messages. At the time that I saw the Pokemon Pacific post on the Instagram post, I just reached out to them through DM. Hey, was the Ichiban Illusion Zoroark paid for? The owner of the copy saying that it wasn't. And I told them the date that it was posted for reference. They saw it. They didn't reply to it, but I guess kind of props to them. This is where the post used to reside. It's no longer there. So they at least went out and they got rid of the data. I can't say that much for Goldin. That data is unfortunately still out in the wild. I know that Goldin can't go through and remove all of these other articles, but if Goldin lets us know whether or not it was paid, because I think that's owed to us, why was the page deleted? If you try to search it directly through their website, you can't find it. You can only find it on articles on Google and then their Instagram page. So if it didn't actually happen, I feel like at a minimum, the record-breaking sale should be deleted. And in a perfect world, a retraction would be issued. Hey, this wasn't deleted, or this wasn't paid. We deleted the original post, whether it was paid at 720, whether it was paid at some lower number, or is it going to be offered for auction again? Was it pulled from the auctions entirely and the original owner is going to keep it, given all this Logan Paul information? Who knows? We don't necessarily need to know the intricacies of if it's going to be kept, if it's going to be offered at a later date today, But today, I think we kind of deserve to know what happened to the 900,000 or the 720,000. Were either of those real? Because they're still being actively advertised as if they were. And then in other areas deleted. So we touched on Goldin, we touched on PWCC. Those were kind of recent issues. Another one that I wanted to touch on, because I've been meaning to make this video for a long time, and it kind of ties in with PWCC. I'm not going to go down the whole thing that we rehash the whole eBay PWCC breakup over shill bidding, all that. I did a video on that back when it happened. So many other people have done videos. But here's an issue that I have with eBay. I have a bone to pick with them over the fact that they supposedly got rid of PWCC because of shill bidding, pricing concerns, all this and that. Well, here's a PSA 10. This is just one specific sale that I made. So I'm privy to information that the public is not, and I'm going to share it with you. So if you were to search on eBay, say you had this item, say you were looking to buy it, if you wanted to price, and this is very recent too, this was a month ago. So PSA 10 base first edition Venusaur booster pack, sold listing $69.99. It's in green. It's sold completed. If you were to look at eBay sold history, there's the sale. It sold for $7,000. Anyone who's aware of the website, 130 Point is a website that exists. I think it's great what they do. They shouldn't have to exist. All the functionality that they provide for looking at like actual offers accepted of sold listings should be able to be done on eBay. There's no reason for this to need to exist. If I have a listing for $7,000 and then I send an offer, or someone sends me an offer and I accept it, eBay should show it in the sold history on their page. You shouldn't have to go to a separate website, copy and paste the title, and then find it. But if you did, $7,000. So you see it on eBay, you see it on 130 Point, good to go. It sold for $7,000. If you want to establish the price history of that, there's your data point. Sold, paid, good to go. I'm the seller of that item. I know what actually went down. I sent an offer. I had a $7,000 listing, and recent sales history, or maybe even they messaged me. I forget exactly the details of it. I've sold a few of these packs recently, but I think they messaged me and said, hey, I'd buy it for $5,500. And I'm like, okay. I looked at recent sold listings, whether or not I got real data, who knows, but I knew what I had into it. I was comfortable selling it for $5,500. So in messages, I replied with an offer. They accepted, paid. And then externally, all anyone can see is the list price. That's very concerning because people could manipulate that. I don't want to give a how-to guide on how to do that, but imagine I list an item for $10,000. I have a friend send me a message, and then I send them an offer for $10. I pay a very small amount in final value fees to insert that fake sold listing on eBay's sales history that shows $10,000 or $5,000, whatever number I want it to show. I just make that the listing price, and I send an offer for a very low number to a friend or anyone, whether or not I actually ship the item. In this case, I did. But yeah, it's a very concerning thing. I think we deserve better than what eBay, Goldin, and PWCC are giving us. I will, as I did say, props to PWCC for at least deleting the original post. I think they should have at least come back out and said, hey, 2 of the 3 that we posted were good. The third one that we had confirmed and then reconfirmed when someone asked us, we're sorry. Whatever broke down on inside of their system that allowed someone to post on their Instagram that it was concerned, whatever broke down there, fix it. Tell everyone you made a mistake. Mistakes happen. But like reissue a retraction or a revision or whatever you need to do. I think that's owed to us. These platforms need to be better. Sold item history is like the best piece of pricing data we have. And when we have muddied up, murky information, it doesn't help anyone. It's not good for, it could be good for people, for bad actors trying to use it the wrong way. So it's not good for anyone honest acting in a proper way, I would say. So yeah, let me know in the comments below. I'm sure there's a lot of different anecdotes. There's probably a lot of different information. And I'm not trying to specifically attack only Goldin, only PWCC, only eBay. They're terrible. Everyone else is fine. I'm sure if you dig deep enough, you could find any of the auction houses, any of the selling platforms. Everyone's got some kind of skeletons or dirty laundry or issues. These are just three very recent, very relevant ones that I wanted to start with. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on all this. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything further you'd like me to talk about or dig into, but I figured this was a decent starting point for just hopefully starting a little bit of conversation. Yeah, that's pretty much it. As always, I appreciate you all watching, and I will catch you all later.